up today.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Every trading day, live at 10 a.m. Eastern. Call now, toll free at 877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The TFNN Bull Bear Trading Hour. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. We have the Dow Industrials up 167, Nasdaq up 185, S&P's up 35, gold contract up $14.90, $18.54 an ounce. You got silver up 27 cents, $25.59 an ounce. Light sweet crude up 42 cents, $53.40 a barrel. Notes and bonds. 10-year down 2 ticks. 136.27, the 30-year off 7 at 168.24. And those notes and bonds, folks, bottom line is that you get the market at all-time highs. They refuse to back down. The 10-year is back inside the higher range. 30-year has to go to 170. We're at 168.23. King dollar up 102 ticks, trading 90.590. The euro is at 120. The yen is out here at 103.73, and the British pound's at 136 to 1 U.S. dollar. Tom O'Brien. I'd say what's going on, but we know what's going on. We got Inauguration Day out here.
We sure do, man. 2 hours, 120 minutes. This market is something else, man. S&P's up 40 points this morning. Why not? Across the board, right? NASDAQ, I was just jumping through some of the tech stocks. My goodness, Amazon shares are up 3% this morning. Crazy action.
And, you know, the composite yesterday, NASDAQ Composite led the charge. It was up 1.8% yesterday. It's up 1.5 right now. We get over and we take a look at the composite, folks. You know, bottom line is that I know we're at highs, man. I just hit the wrong one here.
Oh, big time.
So, yeah, so the composite, oh, my God, yeah. The composite's not only at highs, it's getting away from the high. The high out here that it just took out this morning was 13,308. We're at 395 right now. You know, so there's action, no doubt. Inside the NDX 100, bottom line is Netflix is the mover out here. That's up 12.7%. Baidu's up 4.2%. That has to do with, I suspect, Jack Ma basically making his debut back out again.
He's allowed out of the house again.
He's allowed out of the house. Pinduoduo is up 4%. Skyworks is up 3.6%. Taken away from it. Zoom's down 3.5. You get Fastenal off 2.9. Moderna's off 1.6. And let's go to Alibaba. I believe that with the Chinese premier letting Jack Ma go out and say something, folks, they just put like $58 billion into Alibaba, into the market cap.
And hey, listen, it might be deserved, as in that's actually a pretty big deal when you think about what's going on over there. Okay, so now he's back in the public press, right? He was in front of teachers or something, very, very low key, as low key as you could be. But the market gets ahead of, you know, market is future looking. And they said, okay, so now he's going to be back out there, which is good, because before that we hadn't seen him, man. You don't know if it was going to be a year hiatus or, you know, what was going on. So. Right.
And you know what's pretty wild as to, you know, we look at charts as I suspect as the Chinese look at this, maybe the world by the end of, Jack Ma, folks, was an English teacher. So he went from the banking structure, right? And that's when he basically made a huge mistake going after the central banks, right, in China. That destroyed him. And now I think they're starting him out as a teacher again. When I heard your program, it says teacher, I says, you know what? They're starting him out right where he came from. Because he was a teacher. So, you know, it's very applicable that, okay, you know, you can start back here, man. You know, start talking to the people again, and whatever else they got wired into his brain now, man.
And stop talking about how China should manage their currency and their economy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, in a big way.
Just to put it lightly.
Yeah, to put it lightly, no doubt. We'll see whether, you know, gold's got a bid out here this morning. That's up 17.10, 18.57. Silver's up 31. Dollar is close to giving it up again. The dollar basically gave it up yesterday. This morning we had the dollar up into the 96.97. It's come off a little bit. You're 56 ticks. You're up. The bond, though, this is going to be the wildest one, folks. It is the wildest one. You're at 136.28, and anything inside, I think it's 136.20, 36. It's 136.26. Yeah, 136.26 gets you inside the range. So we're only 2 ticks inside it, but guess what? This thing, to me, is still saying, you know what? It's going to be like a shocking deal that, lower for longer, and we'll see where this goes. But that's
sorry. So say that when you say lower for longer, rates, prices, what?
That rates lower for longer. This is going to
higher, getting back in that range for price and rates.
Getting back. The 10 just got back in the higher range, only by 2 ticks right now.
Cool.
Okay?
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's telling me that guess what? Same deal. These things are going higher again, man. And the 30. Well, let's see. So right now the 10 is 1.1.
Yes.
With 1.1. So, and I think all it's going to take is a little, basically, correction in the marketplace, if there's such a thing that can happen.
I mean, the other side of that is just, it wouldn't have made sense if the yields went to 1.5% and 1.7% and 2. I mean, there's got to be something there. Those 5 days that it had, I mean, we hadn't seen 5 days in terms of lower price, higher yield since like June like that.
Exactly.
It was just it was 2 full points in like 5 days in the 10-year. So that's
percentage-wise, it was unbelievable, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. We take a look at some of the higher volume equities out here. You got, let's see, what do we got? Well, Ford's up 40 cents. Apple's up 2.80. You got Netflix is the number. That's up $66. And Netflix, this is where these high volume highs, man. What's going to be interesting here is that of course, Netflix came out monster numbers. And as you said, I think, cash flowing is the monster deal. I mean, that's like about as big as you can get. This had that high volume high at 575, and it tested it this morning, 577. On a monthly basis, it was a high volume high. On a weekly basis, it was a high volume high. And guess what? That's what it wanted to do. And, we'll see how this baby is going to basically hold it. It's quite a chart, man.
What's interesting is when you 2011, which I didn't even realize they were given dividends, man, when they were probably
really.
Yeah, that's it says first time since 2011, and if you look at that chart you just had up there, you'll see that it actually had pulled back. I'm just zooming. Where is this? Yeah, that's probably when they announced it, folks. It was at $43. Look at this. I'm going to zoom it in. Look at this action. So look at this. And I don't know, right? But this is from 2011. Look what happens, man. You go from $40. Now, I'm guessing that's when they segmented their plans. They said, we're going to do streaming only, and then you can sign up for the CDs. And guess what? They said they're probably, looks like there are dividend. No, those are earnings. So they're going to cut their dividend. Nonetheless, it trades from $40 down to $7, $8 in 2012, man. Now it's at $5.67. That's when they say, wait a second, what are you guys doing? And credit to that management team, man. They had to know that the world was going to flip out when they said that, we're segmenting it. CDs are the past. We're going to take all our money. We're going to need money in the future. We're going to build our own content. And here we are 10 years later, man, and they're worth, I think, $250 billion right now, $250 billion company.
Yeah, it's a rerun of Amazon, right?
It is.
People thought they could go out of business, didn't have enough money. Well, guess what? You turn that coin and forget it.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow right now is up 212. Nasdaq's up 226. S&Ps are up 42. Let's get a Scott in Safety Harbor. Hey, Scott, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. Long time no talk. Hope everything's good with you.
It is. How you been?
Interested in the VXX. I don't want to be negative. You know, I'm not a negative guy. I don't do much short selling, if any at all, none. And but I just don't see an escape plan, as we would say in the military. I just don't see things getting better, you know, anytime soon. So I'm looking at the VXX.
So the VXX, folks, is the short-term futures ETN. Okay, so it basically, you know, has to do with volatility. You know, it's basically a crapshoot. You know, I mean, the bottom line is that you're at 16.44, and you get volatility, and this is something that you do have to be in before the volatility actually comes in, because you get the volatility where you can see even like 2 weeks ago it goes from $16, it goes from 16 to like 18, to 1880. On the open, you know. I mean, between the market's shown that guess what? It wants higher price. So, I mean,
the market's looking at a higher price than the VIX.
No, the VIX to me is getting crushed. I mean, you know, you have one stimulus plan that's already in place, another one's coming in place. I mean, fundamentally, I get it. Let me tell you something. I can't even, in the real estate business, we're so busy, I get people lined up buying houses on a waiting list, okay? So, you know.
Yeah, the real estate thing is bizarre, isn't it? I mean, it's been, and I have a good friend, a relative actually, that it's, you know, in the sale. They are so overbooked for the past year. I mean, just like you, I mean, there is zero inventory. It's like everybody in the world is moving to Florida.
Yeah. So, and it's hard to comprehend, folks, because so many people don't have jobs. Okay, so I get that, and believe me, I get that on the aspect of the market in general. But it looks to me this market wants higher price. The amount of the ABC structures in the S&P that are still finishing off, Scott. We got some more time here, man. So
I'm looking at then, if that's the case, and if I go with that, what do you think about Foot Locker? Because the stimulus, I mean, there's a socioeconomic group that is very excited about that, and they're going to go to Foot Locker. What's your opinion on that?
I like what Foot Locker did yesterday, man. Foot Locker is pushing a high with volume. See that volume spike yesterday? That's a big spike, man. That's 103 million
I missed
shares.
It then. I didn't look at it yesterday. I was going to get in
hold
last
it. I'm
week,
sorry.
and I missed
One
it,
second.
I guess,
One second. I get the wrong stock. Sorry, man. I did.
FL is their
FL.
symbol.
Okay, 1 second. FL. I had FT. Okay, so Foot Locker is. This is going to be interesting. Let's see. You got an ABC up, I think. Yeah, you do. This is an ABC up. So you got your B points 40.
For me, Tom, I'm buy the fundamental stuff like, U.S. Steel when it's down and wait, and because, eventually it's going to hit. For me to buy something like Foot Locker is way out of my zone,
Yeah, well, it wants higher price. It probably wants up there somewhere, basically in the 60s. And you're at 47 right now. And you have March 1st, they're coming out with numbers. And they're looking for, I think they're looking for $2.3 billion to the top line of $1.29 to the bottom line.
I actually did a Jim Cramer play on it, which was what he said he used to do in college. He'd actually go to a store and talk to people. I went to 2 Foot Lockers, and it bumped into a couple, nice young men, intelligent guys went to USF, both of them. And I said, do you ever see any, spike in the market when there's like, both of them said right away, oh, absolutely.
Oh, listen, it totally makes sense. Hey, if bottom line, picture something. You're 25 years old, 20 years old, man, and you're going to get either a $600 check or a $2,000 check. What are you going to do? You're going to go get some sneakers, man.
Right.
You're going to go.
And also in a universe that you may have your shoes, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but your shoes and maybe your phone are your wealth, That's your show of whatever,
For sure.
Absolutely, get the shoes. Okay, Tom, thank you so much.
Have a great one, man.
And, I'm going to just stay off of the VIX. I mean, I know the VIX, and the VIX will hit sooner or later. But
listen, there's no doubt. This, listen, I wouldn't say everyone, but this is mental calisthenics of, my take, Scott, is that we're in inflation, and the market's getting inflated first. The commodities are going. This is inflation that they finally have caught on fire. Do you know what I mean? So.
But I'm very, very worried. I think that here in Florida we have kind of a distorted view of what's happening in the rest of the world. I have relatives in other states, like you do up in Boston, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and just things aren't quite, people aren't beating down the door there to buy real estate.
No, they're not.
So.
Listen, what Scott just said here, I had a couple last night, looking at a house, and what happened is this. They told me that they're in a very, I'd say middle class to upper class in New Jersey, right? They told me flat out that, listen, you hear some of these stories that, all these suburbs up there are doing well too. They said every other house on their freaking street is for sale. They're a little trapped up there, but they're well enough off that they're leaving anyway.
Yeah, I've got a relative in Cherry Hill, which is a real upscale area.
Oh, that's beautiful. I know Cherry Hill. I know that Main Street well.
And they're down probably, they're looking at about a 25-30% of what they could have got it for, 3 or 4 years ago. So, I think the bigger money, the stuff under 100,000 or 200,000 will always move. But, when you start getting up into the bigger numbers, you're going to take a hit. But, let's just be happy that we're in Florida. And, Tom, I love stocks just like you do, but I got to say, real estate always seems to win when you buy it in Florida, It really does.
Because people keep moving. Listen, I tell people, if you have children down here, and Tommy's going to have a boy, 2 weeks, 3, and if you have children that will grow up down here, listen, because people just keep coming, it's like a bull market, man. You know what I mean? There's always more people. So it's a lot easier, basically, I'd say making money down in Florida. That's, let's.
Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you for all these years and years and years of just hearing through good and bad times and staying on the air. We really appreciate you a lot. Everybody's fading out. We're losing so many of our icons. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, from Alex Trebek and Rush Limbaugh and all these people are just not going to be here. And radio is just a recording now. It's just
there's plenty of young people out there, man. There's plenty of young people out there. Cooking, brother.
I hope so.
Have a great one, man.
You,
have a safe one. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. We have the Dow Industrials right now up 221. Nasdaq is up. Dow's up 156. Nasdaq's up 221. S&Ps are up 38. We'll come right back.
Hi, folks. Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials up 164, Nasdaq's up 225, S&Ps are up 38. And, when we just talked with Scott, Tom, about real estate, well, Trump, did all the pardons last night, did the clemencies last night. And so picture, folks, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, that's kind of like the three cities around here. And Clearwater is pretty upset out here this morning because, and I remember this guy well. Trump gave a guy with a Ponzi scheme of $300 million clemency, and I thank God I didn't buy one of these places, man. When the whole thing went south, I know both of these places. One's in the Cayman Islands, but the bottom line is that there's a lot of people upset in Clearwater this morning because they're not going to get their money back. But I gave him 48. I think we had 48 years in jail.
I think it was 40 years.
40 years in jail. And the bottom line, he's out. So pretty wild, man. I mean, and they interviewed, the Tampa Bay Times this morning interviewed Trump supporters that lost all their money, man. And, you know, it's just, there's just going back on this thing, man. Do you know what I mean?
That one was... Just to provide us, it was 2016, federal judge, 40 years. It was Clay Club Resorts and Marina, and they were supposed to turn dilapidated properties in Florida, Vegas, and the Caribbean into luxury resorts. Beginning in 2004, $300 million from 1,400 people. There you go. So, and then, of course, Bannon raising $25 million for a nonprofit to build the wall,
right?
And then pocketing $1 million of it, and the other people he was involved in that, one of them, a Purple Heart recipient who lost limbs, just as guilty if they're guilty of it. They get nothing. Bannon gets a walk, a nonprofit to build a wall. I mean, it is what it is, and we move on, 90 minutes from right now.
Pretty wild, man.
It is, man.
I'd be totally flipped out, man.
Oh, that's so, I don't get it. Yeah, the one you're talking about, exactly. You know, it's like Bannon's politics. We all get that. Real estate investors, I guess that's what the president is. So he just commutes that. $300 million from 1,400 people, man. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, you know what's wild is that when I heard this, I was wondering, I mean, it's a small world, we know that, but you've never heard of this guy. The only reason I knew this guy is that the office was in Clearwater. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. No,
and
I know. You knew some people that knew.
I knew both of the real estate projects, okay? So that's why I knew him, and I said, wow, man, I haven't heard of this guy in a long time, but I remember the scam.
So the commutation doesn't wipe out the $179 million that he's obligated to pay that gentleman, as if that's going to happen. But those are the people walking free today.
It's not going to happen, folks, because exactly. I'm quite familiar with the K Resort, and guess where it is, folks, okay? The Cayman Islands, okay? Yeah. People go back and forth from basically St. Pete to the Caymans. It's only, basically a 55-minute ride, folks, okay? So, yeah, anyway, you get the gist of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay. How do you get a computation? You have no money? Well, guess what? There's money around, no doubt. Dow. Let's go into the Dow and see what the strength is versus the weakness out here. So inside the Dow, point-wise out here, what do we have? Salesforce. Salesforce putting 46 positive points. Microsoft 44. Visa 27. Taken away from it, Goldman minus 26, Caterpillar minus 20, JP Morgan minus 10, and Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, let's see what Procter & Gamble did. Did they come out with numbers this morning?
They did. They had some strong numbers, either numbers or they had a forecast. Nope, there it is, numbers this morning. 8% sales growth, I saw the headlines for them. So strong numbers, but guess what? A strong performance recently kind of priced in, you could say, as it's been chopping around 135 to like 145. But you were at 125 before COVID, so. Yeah.
It's amazing. It blows my mind that you still go in Publix. I don't know how it is the rest of the country, folks, but we're still going in Publix around here. And, it's like the jackpot if you can buy paper towels and toilet paper. Is it like that?
Those aisles are always very, very sparse, right? They are. They are. And I was reading about Procter & Gamble this morning, and what's interesting is, they kept calling him the maker of Tide, the laundry maker. And I was like, that is not even fair, man, when you look at it. Just scrolling, I pulled up because I've looked at this company before and I've traded it before. You're talking about diapers. You're talking about Bounce. You're talking about all their Tides, right? Then you got Bounty. You got Charmin, Braun, Gillette, Venus, shampoo, Old Spice, Cascade, Comet, Dawn, Gain, Mr. Clean, Swiffer, Crest. It's insanity how across the board they were. And I just found it amusing that whoever writer, I don't even know, they're calling the maker of Tide. Right. I was like, man, I would go ballistic if I'm the CEO of Procter & Gamble. They're writing things saying I'm the maker of Tide, as if that is somehow the main brand of that company, as in they just brand. They're basically the grocery store, right?
Yeah, big time. And the wild thing about the maker of Tide, folks, is that you have Tide, which is the higher end. You have Gain, which is the lower end, and I've used both, and I like Gain too. And they own both of them.
I agree, man. It's nice to have, all different price points of the same product to compete against each other, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And folks, let's go take a look at this gold market. So don't forget, we have a great company, Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. You're looking for any gold, silver, platinum, all of the above. Bottom line, give us a call. Come on to our website. You can give Andy a call at 727-329-8245. And we'll see whether, this gold basically is bottomed. What has happened out here? We got a sign of strength. If you're in this market right now, this is a sign of strength for sure. You got 187,000 contracts. It rejected $1,800 yesterday. And it's going right into the destruction that it had 2 Fridays ago. So we'll see how this baby shakes out. But if it's all about the dollar, man. And the dollar out here this morning, yesterday it couldn't hold price. And right now, it's sideways. It's down 55 ticks. Realistically, it's sideways. We'll see how this works out in the next few days. But larger price point looks to me like it's basically 88. And look at these bonds don't want to get down, man. The 10-year is only down 1 tick. Market's at all-time high. The 10-year is down 1 tick, right?
Right.
Yeah. Pretty wild, man.
It is. Some of those tech stocks, man, I know we know it, right? The NASDAQ 100 is up 253 points right now. 2%. I was just going to say, it's interesting. So Amazon's up 3.2% right now. Microsoft is up 3.2% as well. You have Apple up 2.6% right now. And, of course, Netflix up 14.2%. There's a lot happening today, of course, with the inauguration, new administration. But a lot of this is no huge fundamental news today in terms of stimulus, in terms of economy, in terms of jobs, in terms of vaccines. What is out there, though, is the Netflix numbers, man, which are so strong last night, talking about online growth, when the big worry was that maybe we saw this huge acceleration during the middle of the pandemic restrictions, right? I'm talking about June, July, August. You had Netflix pulling all these people in for the first 3 months. Well, what if they sucked in all their growth for the next 2 years, right? What if all of these companies maybe were a little bit too performing too well, priced too well during COVID, for a life beyond that? And guess what? Netflix was the first indication here that no, we're still growing at magnitudes here. Even if we had a little pause the last earnings, and I imagine some of that bleeding in to say, hey, these companies, man, they might have just really grown tremendously. But as we've been saying, the trends aren't changing, man. They're here to stay. And I think that's what you're seeing a little bit today in some of these equities.
No doubt. And those Qs, they're breaking topside with volume. You get the Qs up 627. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I come right back.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials up 221, Nasdaq's up 236, S&Ps are up 43. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Teddy Cakestat, as we do each and every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. And don't forget, folks, you can reach Teddy every trading day at forex-trading-unlock.com. That website is forex-trading-unlock.com. Teddy Cakestat, what's happening, brother?
Oh, we got some interesting things to talk about today in the currencies.
I like that.
We had those signals that, we talked about over the past couple of weeks, and they had that follow through last week, and we were talking about how the bonds were coming into play. And I think that we're going to really start to see that divergence that we were talking about already over the past month. Remember, I said that once we get past inauguration and also into 2021, that the coronavirus trade is now pretty much off the table. Brexit is no longer it's no longer a topic. It's post-Brexit, and pretty much that's hashed out, so that's no longer a variable. So I think we're finally going to see that free-flowing divergence of currencies now. So I think we're going to see what happens between the Asian trade zone, the North American trade zone, and the European trade zone is going to be completely different when it comes to the U.S. dollar. So I think that the U.S. dollar bears and the U.S. dollar bulls are all going to get really scrapped up if they don't pay attention to these things.
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. I see what you're saying. So you're basically saying that, hey, listen, we've been Brexit for 4 or 5 years, we've been COVID for a year, and now you're saying that it's going back to the interest rate differential, right, for the world?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool, man, cool.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let me tell you why.
Okay, so we got to know this, folks. We got to pay attention here. Yep.
Absolutely. Little lesson here. So I looked at like the Euro Bobble and the Euro Shots and the interest rates in Europe and also in Asia. They've been pretty flatlining throughout this whole kind of craziness that we saw over the holidays where the bonds were tanking,
Yeah.
So and the 30-year is coming off its low. Remember last week it spiked a nice little bottom and we've seen a nice little bounce.
Yeah.
However, the bonds are coming off of lower move lows and lower move highs. So if they don't get above 170 even in the March or June futures contracts over the next few weeks, remember now that we're going to be heading into rollover in another 6 weeks.
Right.
So this is not something that's happening over the course of a couple days.
Sure.
So if the bonds continue to come back and hit support, then that's big for the dollar, okay? And this is where I mean it's big for the dollar. It means that you're going to not just necessarily be able to be super bearish the dollar. Okay, but it depends on your trade zone. So, for instance, your Australia and your New Zealand dollar right now, which have been making lower move lows and lower move highs, they're coming off of a low from a couple days ago, from Monday. Now, if they settle positive today, especially kind of like where they're at right now, they have a good chance at bottoming from that was set a bottom on Monday, meaning that they can make a run for new highs against the dollar. We're talking multi-week and multi-month highs, okay? Now, that has a lot to do with the CRB stuff. Remember, we talked about commodity-driven trade, okay? So that's for just them. Now, the U.S. dollar yen, ironically, like today, the dollar is getting hit a little bit. You know, it's getting hit against the dollar, but it's not against the Europeans, and this is where it really plays into this. Remember how, unless there's an actual dollar-driven bear or bull move, you know, it's indicative of how the yen will move. The yen usually goes in an opposite direction than the other currencies when that's going on. Okay. So it's doing what it should be doing right now. Okay. So Asia right now, I would be very careful about trying to be a dollar bull. Okay. I would look to sell rallies in the dollar against these currencies, meaning be bullish Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and also potentially the yen. Okay. Yes. Now, when we get to the U.S. trade zone, now the U.S. dollar Canada, that slammed new lows today, okay? That's a bear. The U.S. dollar peso, okay, is also slamming new lows. Like anyone that's planning on going to spring break to Mexico in a couple months, you might be looking at 16 pesos to the dollar.
And we're at 19.5 right now, folks. So go buy your pesos now.
Buy your pesos now, absolutely. You know, so I think that and that's a big deal for our trade zone. Remember, we just redid NAFTA over the past few years. Okay, so our whole trade agreements with the U.S., with Canada and Mexico have changed, and now this currency differential is going to have a big impact on whether we stay with that deal or if there's any alterations whatsoever.
And, you know, folks, as Teddy's speaking, 6 months ago, the peso was 22.50 to a dollar. So, man, that's a percentage move, huh? Holy cow.
Right, absolutely. Now, when it comes to the European, this is a totally different deal, okay? You have to look at, like, the pound. It made a higher move high today, spiking, but it's coming off of that. Meanwhile, the euro and the Swiss have been making lower move lows and lower move highs against the dollar, meaning that the dollar has been bullish, okay? So I think we have divergence there where the pound, I think, is going to kind of needle these highs, maybe like just chop around and set a narrow trade, especially because I think that the U.S. dollar Swiss and can definitely probably make higher move highs. Now, I'm not looking at big ones, okay? And the euro U.S. dollar, I think, can make newer move lows. So I'm going to give you some quick target points right now, okay, for all these markets, okay? So for the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, 104.41 is your pivot. Above that, you're looking for a breakout to the upside. Below that, probably neutral to lower, okay? Australian dollar, U.S. dollar, 78.19 is your upside breakout point. If it gets above that, you're looking at a raging bull that will probably go on for months, okay? The New Zealand dollar, U.S. dollar, 0.7095, that's your key pivot level. Any trading above that, which is the low from a couple of days ago, will keep this market definitely looking to go higher also, okay? U.S. dollar, Canada, it's a rock falling down into water. I wouldn't try and catch that thing. Same thing with the peso. Be very careful with those. Sell rallies, you know. Now, when it comes to the euro, I think that still has a chance to get down to about $1.1975, maybe even $1.18.5, you know, on an extreme, because the EU's got its own problems right now. You know, so and I think that especially when it comes to the trade agreements and stuff, that's all hashed out. It's done. So now it becomes down to they're running out of money. They're going to have to keep on doing their Q. God knows what number they're on right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I don't think the trade between Europe and the U.S., especially with where the currencies are right now, is going to be very beneficial to the EU over the next 6 months. You know, so that's going to weigh on the euro. And the Swiss, I think, is just going to get a little bit of a boost, you know. So especially if it breaks out above 89.23, then I think you could see the Swiss get up to about 90 to almost 91 cents again. You know, not looking for parity runs or anything like that, but I think you could stretch the correction.
Man, I'm telling you, I love this education, Teddy. I really, no, I'm not kidding. I'm really serious. You know what I really just got, and the way you broke it down is that it really has to do with different sectors of the world, right? I mean, that's the reality, man, which is really cool, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's normal. That's normal in finance and trading. Like, we just haven't had that for a while because of Brexit, blah, blah, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
you know, so,
because one thing was overtaken on a continual basis, meaning for the dollar. I mean, Wow,
Correct.
I can see that. And it's interesting this morning, that yen. I mean, that's why gold's going. Gold's up $30. The yen's down 43 ticks, man. That yen moves down and gets strong at all, man. Gold just loves it. It's
and the key thing to remember is, you guys, your watchers got to pay attention to the 30-year note in the March contract. If it stays below $1.70 basis points, handles, you're not going to see a very bearish move in the dollar.
No, listen, the 10-year just got back inside its higher range. I know, by 2 ticks. Thanks, man. Have a great one.
Thanks,
Safe
guys.
one. Look forward to speaking next week.
Cool.
Stay right there, folks. Tom and I are coming right back.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that will take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar's worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrial is up 228, Nasdaq up 218, S&P's up 43. That was pretty cool, huh, Tom?
Yeah, Teddy does a great job, man. Fortunate to have him as a guest, and he really understands those markets. It's always great when he walks us through some of those scenarios out there.
Yeah, and folks, you know, if you're trying to wrap your head around currencies or anything, just take it step by step. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, but he really put a lot together for me just then. And that's just kind of what happens, because there's so many things to know in the marketplace. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but that was cool, man. I loved how he separated. Well, it would make sense, I guess, because we were looking at Brexit forever, right? The COVID for sure.
Yes.
And, you know, as he separated it, though, I could see that it just something, a light bulb clicked. It's like, oh, this is cool, man. Yeah.
Those intercurrency relationships, man, driving
Yes.
each other. Which one, which one's driving which one, right? Which relationship is playing into which one as they all are interrelated. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, so I'm telling you, man, it's wicked. The Canadian dollar, folks, okay, so for all us folks in Florida, you know, we have a big Canadian presence here, and this is going to be good for the Canadians. I mean, because the bottom line is that their dollar is getting stronger. You know, it's breaking out the lows today, meaning it's 126 to 1. And that's good. I mean, you know, if I bring this back, you're going to see that this actually went down to 97, and it got under par at one point. Let's see here. Look at this. In 94 it went to. What year was that, man? 2011.
Okay.
So you can imagine, you know, that's on par. And then imagine you go all the way up to 146. You know, you can't afford anything coming down from Canada down to the United States at 146, man. Wild. Well, let's see. What do we got, an hour? An hour, we got a new president, folks.
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing. Stay right there, folks. We get Think or Swim coming up next. And I'm Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave. Wait! I'll be back this afternoon. Thanks, pal.
Thanks, man.
Look at him, folks.